Can anyone fast?
Can anyone fast? That's a good question. I think so. I think anyone can fast.
What do people fast from?
Another good question. Well, you can fast from pretty much anything. I have fasted from drinking coffee. I have fasted from eating food. I have fasted from screen time.
Did you fast when you were my age?
Well, I really can't ever remember fasting at your age. I'm trying to think. What the youngest how old was I when I first did a fast? Probably when I was really old, when I was in my 20s. Yeah, I think that's when I did it. I did a 48-hour fast where I didn't eat any food. I drank water and coffee and things, but I didn't eat any food for 48 hours. And then after 48 hours, I was so hungry that I ate pizza. And I ate way too much pizza that I got sick. So you got to be careful when you fast. You can't just fast from food and then start eating a bunch of food afterwards. You got to be careful.
Has every church ever fasted?
Well, last year during Lent, we didn't do a communal fasting, a community time of fasting, but when we enter into Lent every year, beginning on Ash Wednesday, we as a community of faith say that we will look for ways in which we will grow closer to God in our faith. And one of the ways of doing so is by fasting. And sometimes that fasting is from food, but sometimes it's from screen time, and sometimes it's from other things, like drinking coffee. Can you fast from going to school or homework? No, you can't do that. Or can you fast from doing what your parent says? No, you can't do that either. But fasting is a way to say, this is something that is standing in the way of my relationship with God or with my neighbor, and not doing that thing for a period of time. Sometimes you don't pick that thing up again. You don't begin that thing again. I've had friends who stopped drinking coffee during Lent, and then after Lent, they said, I don't think I need coffee anymore, and so they stopped drinking coffee.
When can our church fast?
Well, so I just answered that, didn't I? We typically encourage one another to fast during Lent. Another time that the church historically has decided to fast would be during Advent, those 4 Sundays before Christmas. Now, I know we all want to celebrate Christmas right away, beginning at the end of November, and we want to sing Christmas songs and all those fun things. But really, Christmas, according to the church calendar, doesn't begin until December 25th. But then there are 12 days of Christmas. Can you imagine if you got gifts for 12 straight days? How cool would that be? You should ask your parents about that. But the days before Christmas, those days are called Advent. And during Advent, you'll remember perhaps from service that we light a candle that's placed in a wreath, the Advent wreath. Well, during Advent is a time when we can again think about things that get in the way of our relationship with God or with our neighbors, things that take away our attention from loving our neighbors and loving God. So there are specific times that are built into the calendar. Advent, which takes place in December, and then Lent, which typically begins somewhere in February or March and lasts for 40 days. Great questions. I hope that has been helpful.
Can anyone egg?